This lesson is all about real-world applications of reinforcement. Let's start by defining the term reinforcement. Reinforcement can be defined as a change in the environment that maintains or increases future rates of behavior. In short, any individual's behavior that maintains or increases over time is being reinforced by something. Specifically, individuals can either access something pleasant contingent on a behavior occurring, and that maintains or increases that behavior moving forward, or individuals can avoid or altogether escape something unpleasant or aversive, and that can maintain and increase their behaviors moving forward. There are two types of reinforcement: positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. When we talk about positive reinforcement, it's important to understand that positive doesn't mean pleasant when we're talking about behavior. Think back to math class. Positive means to add something. Specifically, we are adding a stimulus, something an individual perceives as pleasant contingent on a specific behavior occurring. If you're thinking, well, positive means adding, negative must mean removing or taking something away. You're right. With negative reinforcement, we are lessening or removing something an individual perceives as aversive, contingent on a specific behavior occurring. Here's a practical example. Let's say our target behavior is safe driving. You might say, well, there's no positive reinforcement associated with safe driving. But think of it this way. If you go a year engaging in safe driving, not getting tickets, and not being at fault for accidents, you can save some money on your car insurance the following year. If saving money maintains and increases your behavior of safe driving moving forward, then saving money is a form of positive reinforcement. Again, with positive reinforcement, we are adding something contingent on a specific behavior occurring that maintains or increases future rates of this specific behavior. Now you might ask, well, what does negative reinforcement have to do with safe driving? Well, here's an example we can all relate to: the annoying beep 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 sound if you're driving without buckling your seatbelt. Safe driving behaviors include buckling our seatbelt, and to be honest, there's a lot of people who only buckle their seatbelt because they want to avoid or escape the unpleasant sound of that beep 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 reminding you to buckle your seatbelt. That's negative reinforcement in action. It's increasing or maintaining safe driving behaviors by removing the unpleasant sound of that beep beep beep. To summarize this lesson so far, positive and negative reinforcement are similar in that both maintain or increase future rates of behavior. While positive reinforcement accomplishes this by adding something pleasant contingent on a specific behavior occurring, negative reinforcement accomplishes this by lessening or removing something aversive contingent on a specific behavior occurring. You might be thinking, well, why does this matter? What does this have to do with my work with my students? First, reinforcement maintains and increases all human behavior. In other words, whether we are adults or children, whether we're in school settings or non-school settings, and whether we are engaging in socially acceptable or socially unacceptable behaviors, reinforcement maintains and increases all of our behaviors. For example, how many of you would continue going to work if you weren't compensated for your time? If a regular paycheck maintains your behavior of going to work, this is positive reinforcement in action. How many of you grab an umbrella on your way out the door when it rains to avoid arriving to work drenched? Assuming arriving to work relatively dry maintains your behavior of using an umbrella on rainy days, negative reinforcement is at play. Second, we have all heard someone say, this particular student just doesn't respond to reinforcement. As we've learned during this lesson, all individuals respond to reinforcement. If our reinforcement contingencies are not maintaining or increasing rates of desired behaviors for a particular student, then what we are offering is not functioning as reinforcement for that particular student. In this case, it is up to us as educators to adapt our reinforcement contingencies to incentivize desired behaviors for all of our students. In the world of behavior, there's a saying that goes, behavior goes where reinforcement flows. By identifying the source of reinforcement maintaining occurrences of student problem behaviors, we can do two things. First of all, we can discontinue, or at least minimize, reinforcement contingent on problem behaviors. Second of all, we can teach, practice, and reinforce desired behaviors that allow students to access reinforcement similar to the reinforcement they previously accessed through problem behaviors, and essentially function as win-win scenarios. Students are engaging in desired behaviors, so we, as educators, are happy. In addition, students are still accessing reinforcement similar to the reinforcement that previously maintained occurrence of problem behaviors, but through desired behavior, so students are happy as well. These win-win scenarios are what we can develop by identifying the sources of reinforcement maintaining occurrences of problem behaviors, and then coming up with interventions that provide students with socially acceptable strategies for accessing this reinforcement within school settings.